Hello and welcome to the Tarkis zone. Today I'm going to be redoing my water gathering video. I'm going to call this Water Gathering 2.0. We're playing the game Black Desert Online. The older video is a few months old and they've changed some of the mechanics in water gathering. So let me just get to it. So here I am. I am in Hydel. And here I'm next to the river in Hydel. Here next to the river. The vendor to buy the bottles you need to do this is right here where my icon is. This vendor where this icon is will sell you these bottles. And whatever town you're in, there'll be a vendor that will sell you these bottles. So when I hit I and I hover over it, it's the empty bottles you're going to be buying. So the change they made for the game was that they allowed for auto gathering when it comes to those empty bottles. My old video talked about macros and making it happen before the change. They've made it somewhat easy. You want to make sure you have your gathering clothes on. You might want to pop a grain, soup. I've already popped one of those. It gives you the gathering speed increase. I also have my ghillie suit on, which also gives me an increase to gathering. So with the costume, the ghillie suit, and the grain soup, if I hit P, I get my gathering ability to level 3. So here I am, I'm standing in the water, and here that's all you have to do is right click on the bottle and you will start to auto gather. Now again, this is a change from what it was where you actually had to make the command that said, okay, use the bottle, then pick up the product by using the R command. That's no longer needed. You auto get the water, you auto put it in your inventory, and you just can continue doing this. The only reason to run a macro at this time for this would be in case you wanted it to go all night. So you could actually put 1,000 empty bottles in your inventory, and you could run a macro that said, okay, every 5 minutes do the 1 command, and you drag your bottles down there. And what would happen would be is when you ran out of energy, because gathering takes you energy, when you get to 0 energy, you're going to stop doing this task. So if you had a macro while you were away and you still wanted to do this, it said, okay, every 5 minutes, click on the 1 command, and I'm going to bring those bottles down there so you see what I'm talking about. And here, I'm going to stop my water gathering. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to just hit the 1 key now. See how I auto gather now? So you can run a macro, that said, okay, every 5 minutes, look to see if I can gather. And then by that time, you should have 3 energy points or close to it. So you would start gathering again until you ate up those 3. Then you would stop gathering, and then you'd just be rinsing and repeating that until you came back to the computer. Now, you also could put your grain soup in the 2 quick slot, and that way the macro would also say hit 1, hit 2 every 5 minutes. And this way you would be continuously doing the water gathering while you were away. If you do not use macros, then you're just going to do it either until you no longer have the bottles in your inventory or until you've used your energy. Okay, so I have collected some of that water, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to put my craftsman clothes on. And you're going to notice there are there's one thing that you got out of the river, and that's this bottle of river water. And that alone sells on the auction house. Let's just go up here so I can show you what that sells for. I'm going to go to my warehouse, and I'm going to go to my marketplace, and I'm going to click on the river water, and I'm going to say max. So the river water per river water that you just collected, you could get 2,310, I think that says. And if I hit confirm here, that's how much money we just made by auto gathering water. Well, we're not going to sell it as river water. I'm going to show you, there's a reason why I put my processing uniform on. I'm going to come back down here so you can see myself here. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit I, make sure you have your crafter gear on, then hit L. And what you want to do is you want thinning, and then you want to click on the water, those bottle of river water, and hit start. And what this is going to do for you, this is where you're going to get two items during the processing part of this process. You're going to get the purified water, which you just saw come up. And then occasionally you're going to get these gold flecks. I believe the game calls them, here it is, I got it highlighted where my mouse is. So right now I have 13 of those because I started doing a little bit of this before I made the video so that I could show you the whole process. So here we are, we're still processing that river water, or thinning it. And as you can see, for the ones that I had just picked up, I'm only maybe not even a quarter of a way through those. And we're only sitting here until you see me get the gold so that you can see what that looks like. So here we are. Tarkis is boring the hell out of you, just doing some water processing and hoping to, there it is, right there. So you see there, you got a little bit of the gold. So if I hit the I, I've now got 14 of those. Alright, so I'm going to back out of there. With the processing uniform still on, I'm going to hit L. I am now going to go to heating, and I'm going to take that gold dust and I'm going to start heating that gold dust. Now that gold dust is the RNG part of the thinning. So the byproduct of creating the water, to purified water, the byproduct of that is the gold dust. And then from that, I can make the melted gold shards. And see, I've got 5 of them. And now with the processing uniform still on, I'm going to hit L. I'm going to go to heating, and I'm going to take 5 of those melted gold shards, and I'm going to hit start. So I've taken the flakes, I've made them into 5 shards, and it looks like, okay, I obviously do not have enough to make a gold bar. So why don't I go over to my inventory just to show you what the gold bar, or I will get I believe I have some other, here we go, we got melted gold shards right there. Okay, I added 5 more to my inventory, so I've got 10. So now you hit the L with the crafting uniform on. I've got 10 of those. And if I had done all that water, I probably would have had enough dust to make 10 of these melted shards. But I wanted to show you from the melted shards, you're going to get what they call a gold bar. And it's that gold bar which is your big payday of this process. And I've got a phenomenal processing. I don't know why this is taking, there it is, gold ignet. So I'm just going to back up. I can make one of them. It looks like you need 10 of those shards to make one of the bars. So now I'm going to go to my marketplace, and I actually RNG'd 2 bars out of that. Okay, so look at that. I got 2 bars that I created for taking that 10 shards, and I'm going to put those on the auction house. I'm going to say maximum. And look at that. There's 200,000 gold right there. Almost 200,000 silver. I say gold. I mean silver. There's 200,000 silver I'm going to get for those 2 bars. And that was just the RNG part of this. Now I'm going to actually go to the purified water that we created. And I'm going to put those up. And those go for 1,200 right now. Hit confirm. That's another 34,000 right there. Now, right now, that water is selling at its cheapest value because it's prime time. We're really getting into the hours in which people are getting home. So you know, there's a lot of it. People are dumping on the auction house. Late at night, you'll get 2,000 silver per purified water. And the gold bars sell for a little bit more too. Well, I'm hoping that this video is helpful. Again, I wanted to do an updated version of this, the Water Gathering 2.0. Thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkis Zone.